This is Jake, and I'm with Tom, David, and Stephen, and this is our director's commentary for the film scene Jumanji.
Okay, so at the start we have a credit sequence of Loserville Productions, and it cuts to like a start game, main menu, and settings screen. We thought that would add a lot more professionalism, as in you're actually in the game.
I like that because it was like a spin in the film.
Yeah, and it reflects on how Jumanji is a game, and the film scene started, so like it's a start game. Yeah. Okay, so after the first title sequence, the first scene is of Moose Finbar, who's acted by Amani, and it's just him saying that he has to go to the toilet. But I think it's a little bit unique because it's the same script as the original, but we've changed a couple of things like how he acts and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's like it's not like fully American. It's like he's acting like a Brummie in it, if you can notice.
Yeah.
Like.
But I feel like it's just overall just a good starting up in the scene, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The next scene is of me and Jake playing our separate characters. I really like this bit because we had to actually go out and get props for the characters, and I thought, considering the low budget, we did pretty well.
The wig was pretty cool, like, yeah.
It made it seem more Jumanji, like the hat, the shirt, the wig. I think it just made it seem more professional.
I think it made it comedic as well, because you could clearly tell it was a man, not a woman.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of a switch up.
Yeah.
Okay, so after the scene of Jake and David, it cuts to the actor Amani again playing Moose Finbar, and it's like he's also doing like a bit of a Brummie accent, so he's not like a fully American, which I think it's good because if he acts American, it's like you're trying to like go a bit more serious.
I feel like the stutter in what he says as well, it makes it seem like he's a little bit confused, a little bit shocked by David. David acting, saying like, "Can you help me out?" I feel like he's just a little bit shocked.
Really gave the role his all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after Amani says, "Yeah, sure, I'll help you out," it kind of like transitions into a scenery shot, which I think is really good because it shows the transition of them moving to the spot where they all like discuss peeing.
I like how we did that because it's like we're adding our own little bits to the already filmed scene.
Yeah, and I like how we added the sound effects as well, like the bird noises and the jungle noises.
I feel like that's the difference between the two versions. The first version focuses more on the actual like suiting to the Jumanji theme and like just recreating shot by shot. But I feel like the other version is more like unique in a way, like making their own scenes, making their own shots, and like more sound effects and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like more of a reinterpretation than a recreation.
Yeah. And I feel like it's good as well because we can compare the two. So it's not like we just have one to go off; we actually have two to go off now. And I feel like that's just the best way to
gives us more like opportunities on what to do.
Yeah, and how to improve it next time.
I really like this next scene because it switches between a wide shot of me, Tom, and Armani, and then focusing on my character, and it does that about 3 or 4 times, and I like how we did it exactly like they did it in the film.
Yeah, it was like shot by shot, so it went from the big wide angle of all 3 characters, cut to David, who's not even speaking though, so it was a shot by shot recreation, but at the same time it was our own reinterpretation, so we didn't like do it perfectly. So
yeah, I feel like the accents made it.
I feel like we added a different comedic effect to it as well.
Yeah. So the next scene is David doing a hand gesture. This is just a quick cut to make it seem more fast paced in the actual film scene.
Well, I like it to be fair because when he's doing the hand gesture, it means like he's confused, doesn't really know what he's doing. I think it adds like a bit more.
Yeah, I like when we have the little like reaction shots because it really just like brings the scene like more.
Yeah, like glues it together in a way. Yeah.
Okay, so this next scene is from the transition of David doing the hand gesture to me talking about aiming. I like this scene to be fair because it's like comedic. It kind of like it's because the character in the actual film is The Rock. It kind of like shows that a big bulky guy is scared of aiming, so it's kind of like funny to the audience.
Yeah, I think it is as well.
Another thing about my scene, it was a bit out of focus. It's not really that noticeable, but it would have been better if it was like more like focused in on just me.
Next scene was really hard to do. I remember taking a few takes of it because we wanted to get it right, exactly how they did it in the film. Like when I'm saying lines, I couldn't stop laughing when I was doing it.
Yeah, I found it hilarious because when Amani says no thanks in the background, you can barely tell it's Amani. To be fair, you'd think it was Jake because he played Ruby Roundhouse.
Wasn't that improvised as well? I'm pretty sure it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, because Jake couldn't do the voice, so we had to choose Amani instead.
Yeah.
But I think it was really hard to do because no one could stop laughing because of how perfect the voice actually was.
I must give credit to David. It was good acting.
Okay, so the next scene is of Armani and David in a conversation.
Another scene which took a few takes because everyone couldn't stop laughing. I am saying that I haven't looked at my penis yet from coming into the game.
And then Amani speaks about seeing his in the first 20 seconds. Well,
And he said that he brought, at least he's brought one thing from the outside world. So that is literally like...
and then that brings it back to the fact that people remember that they're not actually them.
Yeah. Like I was saying, but I say it in every scene, but it brings like a comedic
I feel
effect.
like with this scene as well, like it's really hard to capture the comedy element of everything, but I feel like because we did a few little things of our own, it really just added to it.
Yeah.
I think we actually did it pretty good, to be fair, to capture the comedy.
So the next scene is of David looking over at Armani, and then Armani replying, "What are you looking?" And then David just replies, "Sorry." So what do you guys think about that?
In the bit where he says sorry, I think it's good that with the fact that you can't actually see Armani when he says you don't look over here.
Yeah.
Because it still shows that he's in the background.
So it like mixes it up a bit.
Yeah.
Although we didn't get a lot of different camera shots, I thought the ones that we did were pretty good.
But however, in the scene where Armani says, what are you looking?" I feel like we could get the camera angle a little bit better because his top of his head is cut off. So I feel like that's where we can improve next time.
Okay, so the next scene was of me talking like you never look. I think the best part of this is actually getting the reaction. So get the facial expression, the actual like, how he did it in the actual scene. I think that was the hardest bit of actually doing that bit.
Yeah, I agree.
This next scene is a wide shot of just me, but I really think we could have improved on this one. The audio on it is a bit low quality.
Oh, I agree.
And the shot we did, like we could have got a lower shot just so it cuts off at the waist.
Yeah.
And other than that, I think the scene was pretty accurate.
Yeah,
for the actual film.
I feel like the location we picked actually suits it really well as well.
Yeah.
I think the audio was only a bit like quiet because obviously the wind in the background was interfering with the mic.
Yeah, I feel that's where we could have improved though, because say for example when we reshot some shots that day it wasn't windy, so
we could have
some
done
of the
the
shots
audio
just
again,
differ.
couldn't
Yeah.
So after the bit where David's like, okay, good boy, like taking it slow, I kind of like hurry him up by hearing a tiger growl, and it kind of matches the fact that Dr. Bravestone in the film is actually like a really bulky guy, but is actually like a puny teenager, and it kind of fits that puny teenager fit.
It also shows that they're in the jungle as well.
Yeah, I think the tiger growl actually emphasises the fact that we're in a bigger environment. So yeah.
Yeah, one of the things we did need to improve was the semiotics, I think, from the first draft.
Because obviously it doesn't actually show that we're in a jungle. It's just trees everywhere. No, it doesn't really.
We're expecting the audience to just assume.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next scene is of Tom and Armani having a conversation. This is a wide angle shot which shows all three of them in the scene, going to the toilet. What do you guys think about this one?
I think this is actually really good because obviously when we have a conversation, normally it cuts to the person who's talking, but in this scene it's like the conversation in the wide angle.
Yeah.
So that you can see who's talking.
And when they're talking.
And
So
you kind of can see everyone talking as well.
Yeah.
So the scene after that is of Tom replying to Armani saying, "Can we not speak about this in mixed company?" This is a close-up of Tom, but we can improve on this because we refilmed a couple shots, but in each shot there was a mic. There was the boom mic at the top. So I feel like because we zoomed in, the quality lowered of the clip.
Yeah, it's kind of blurry. It's unfocused
Yeah,
because
that was an error in the sound department.
yeah. I think also with this scene it was a bit harder to get the face expression and the reaction as well. That's what I struggled with the most with my bit. So
Was that because it weren't like natural or anything?
yeah, well, I had to like act. I'm not really good at acting, but I feel like I got the reaction pretty good. So
Yeah, I feel like you really captured how The Rock actually did it.
yeah.
Yeah.
This next shot is of me, and I thought this was another hard one to do because obviously the script is getting to the funny parts, and I feel like I portrayed it quite well because you can tell that I'm a man acting a
That's a
teenage girl.
teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it cuts to a wide angle of Armani and David having a conversation, and I feel like that's really good as well because normally, as I said, it would cut to the person who's actually speaking in close up, but it's changing.
When
It's
people
not.
speaking,
It's
yeah.
not keeping the same routine, so it's not like getting boring.
So the next scene is David saying the fact that I'm not Instagramming this right now is insane, and I feel like that connects to a modern audience because they're so attached to their
Everyone's,
phones.
using Instagram and
Yeah,
everything.
so I feel like it's funny because everyone uses their phone for everything nowadays. But
And it also shows that he's like in the body of a teenage girl as well. So
Everyone's heavily reliant on social media these days as well.
yeah,
so after all the scenes, it cuts to another credit sequence where it's the Jumanji drums and the roles of everyone in it. But then at the end, it also says game over. So
I think that emphasises the fact that the story is about people being in the game. Cause
I did like this bit because it was like our own spin on what they already do in the film.
Yeah, so I think that this is what I like about it is because at the start it says start game and at the end it says game over, so therefore it just brings that little bit of uniqueness.
yeah, it's just keeping the Jumanji video game scene in it.
And kind of like a bit of a story to it as well.
Yeah.